You know what the most disappointing thing about this suit is? Is that my nips are so weaponized that they just punch straight through the material. Actually, that's not the suit, that's my genetics.
All this fancy ass bullshit that I see on YouTube, I don't have time for that. I work full time and I don't get paid enough to eat out every day. And when I do eat out, they always give me a piss poor serving size of shit food packed with cheap calories. So here's my channel. I cook things that are easy, cheap, bold, and healthier than what you can find outside. My name is Chi, and I'm a bad chef. Fennel is in season right now at the time of filming, so what we're going to make today is a fennel and apple salad paired with a homemade lemon, garlic, and honey vinaigrette. And what pairs well with that sort of salad? Crispy pork belly. So that's what we're going to make today. Let's get on to it. Now, for basically what is a cake made out of pork, there's a piss easy way to do it and the way that I like to do it.
For the simple way, you just pat the pork dry, massage in a little oil, put some salt on it, put that shit on a tray, a rack if you have it, then bung it into the oven for about 90 minutes at 160 degrees.
If you want to do it that way, that's literally it. It gives you 80% of the results for 20% of the effort. And it's pretty good, like the meat's gonna be tender and the crackling is gonna snap instead of crackle. But I want to get maximum crisp for the least amount of supervised time. So we're gonna do it my way. So what we're going to do differently with this one is that we're going to start it a day before because it'll have to go to sleep in the refrigerator overnight, and also rub the meat with a 5-spice rub just to give it a bit more flavor and also to pick off some of those more amine tastes that the pork naturally has.
So, to prep for this, what you want to do is to pat it dry with some paper towels. Then, get a bunch of wood skewers and use an elastic band to keep them together. A bunch would cover more area faster and it'll let you stab to the right depth without overstabbing. You can buy these at Woolies for about $3 or $1 at an Asian store.
Just stab the living shit out of it. Each hole that you stab will become this golden bubble of crispiness. So go ape shit on it, just lose control. Just pretend it's your ex or your crush's new boyfriend. Just.
After you've done that, it's time to spice the bottom. All you'll need is a little salt and pepper, some Chinese 5-spice, and some shaoxing wine.
If you don't have any Chinese cooking wine or any 5-spice, you can substitute it with any dry sherry or white wine or any dark spice rub. But I recommend these two. I mean, you should be able to find them at Woolies. That's where I managed to pick these ones up.
Now, in the wise words of Ainsley Harriott, it's time to give your meat a good old rub.
Yeah, boy.
Now, wrap that little baby, skin side up, in a little foil boat and chuck it uncovered into the refrigerator overnight for a minimum of 3 hours, but ideally 12 and a maximum of 24.
The reason why you want to chuck it in the refrigerator is because the air inside the fridge is quite dry, so it'll suck the moisture out of the skin. The drier our skin is, the crispier it'll be, so just bung it in there, go to work, go to sleep, do whatever, come back to it and it'll be ready for action.
Now, before we chuck it into the oven, we're going to squeeze a couple of drops of lemon juice onto it, then salt the living shit out of the skin.
So what we've done here, we've put a couple of drops of lemon juice just to help the salt bind to the skin. Then we've caked the whole skin with a layer of rock salt. The rock salt helps draw out all the moisture osmotically, so it leaves our skin light, crunchy, and delicious. Now, before we bung our pork into the oven, it's probably important to note that you want a piece of pork that is as even and flat as possible on the top. Otherwise, the high side will burn and the low side will remain uncrispy. So, if your piece of pork is a little bit uneven, just get a piece of carrot or a piece of onion, you can cut it to shape and just wedge it underneath the low side of your pork so that the top of your pork is nice and flat. All right, here we go, let's do it.
Roast the pork in the oven at 180 degrees for an hour. While that's roasting, we're going to prep the salad and the vinaigrette. It only takes 5 minutes, so you have plenty of time. All we have to do is to top the fennel, keep those bits for later, cut the fennel in half, use a V-cut to get rid of the woody root bit at the bottom, give it a wash, and slice as thinly as you please. As for the apples, slice the cheeks off the apples, then cut them down further into matchsticks. The vinaigrette is easy. It's just a teaspoon of clear honey, an entire lemon juiced, a clove of crushed garlic, salt, and olive oil. The honey might need a bit of hot water to encourage it to dissolve, but that's up to you. You don't need to use precise measurements, just do it to taste. Give it a good stir, then we're in business. Once your pork is done, take it out of the oven. It should sound something like this. At this point, turn the oven to full whack, as high as it goes, like 250 degrees. If it has a grill mode, switch that on too. And while that's getting up to temp, brush off all the salt, remove the pork from the foil, and sit it back on the tray. Once the oven is ready to go, grill for 5-10 minutes. Rotate it once to make sure that it's grilling evenly, and keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't burn. When that's done, we're ready to plate. To plate, dump the vinaigrette unceremoniously onto the salad, give it a toss, whack the salad onto a plate, and dress it with some lemon zest and the fennel tips that we saved from before. Finish off with some black pepper. Cut your pork to your desired portion size, and then crown your salad with your pork. To finish it off, give yourself a bit of mustard on the side. I'm using hot English and whole grain.
Alright, here's a real test, alright? We'll take probably one of the more burnt bits at the edge. Still got a little bit of salt on it, but that's fine. But hopefully, this will fulfill expectations. You ready? Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here, man. Oh my god. Now that I've stopped orgasming, let me give you a rundown on what this tastes like. The meat is tender, no doubt, but I think the best part of it is all the fat's sort of rendered out of it. So you've just got this beautiful collagen layer underneath that just melts away in your mouth. The salad is banging, just a fennel-y, anisey sort of taste mixed in with the sweetness of the apple, with a bit of cracked pepper on it. It's just, it pairs so well with the pork. Apple and pork together, goddamn. Honestly, if your body doesn't flood you with serotonin after eating this, I'm not really sure if you're human, to be honest. I think this could be the new Turing test. Just get somebody to eat a bit of pork belly and see if they have the right reaction. And the best part about this, you can get all of this in just a little over an hour. And it's not like it's an attended hour either, so you could just leave it in the oven and go about your day, go to the gym, have a shower, do whatever. And then when it's ready, just come out and do the rest of the prep. And the rest of the prep is just cutting stuff and mixing some stuff together. It's just so easy. It's so low effort for the amount of reward that you get. It's just, I love it. I love it so much. In terms of cost, the whole slab of pork was $12. The entire fennel was $2.50. The apple was $1. So if you slap that all together, it's about $15.50 for 2 meals, which brings this entire meal to just a bit under $8. Oh, that's me done. I'm ready to go into a food coma. But this was crispy pork belly with fennel and apple salad and a homemade lemon, honey, and garlic vinaigrette. Done.